friends and welcome back to the channel. I haven't talked to you in a while and that has a reason. As you can see in the back maybe, I don't know if you can tell, but I am moving. So I thought it would be fun to just take you along with me on a little moving vlog where I'm going to talk about the books that I'm reading right now, because I haven't talked about that in a long time, and then I'm also going to just take you with me as much as I possibly can in the process of moving and packing up my stuff. So yeah, welcome to this moving vlog. The last month has been stressful. I have been sick for a really long time. If you didn't know, I touched upon that on my last video where I read Onyx Storm, and that really wasn't good. But now I'm healthy again. I hope it stays that way. Fingers crossed. I really hope that there isn't going to be any surprises anymore with colds or anything else, because I can't take it anymore. And apart from that, a lot has happened. Obviously, I've had the keys for my new flat for a while. I have painted the walls already. That is finished now. And this week I'm going to be moving. But apart from that, I'm also working full time, and it's a really important week at work where I have to go to a workshop every single day, which isn't ideal, but we can make it work. And I'm also training for my half marathon, which is in less than a month. And the training is going okay, but I couldn't train for the longest time because of my cold. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just glad if I can even finish it, and if I manage to do it in the time that I have wanted to, that will be even better. But yeah, because things have been really stressful, I didn't have the time to read as much as I wanted to. But let me tell you about what I've been reading. I've solely been reading fantasy for this whole year so far, because I've really not been in a romance mood, and I've discovered some great fantasy series. So let's get into it. I read the Prison Healer series. I don't know if that's the title of the series, but it starts with Prison Healer, and I don't know how the other ones are called, but I'm on the third book right now, and I'm really enjoying the series so far. I'm almost finished with it right now. I think I have like maybe 1 or 2 hours of the audiobook left at the speed I'm listening at, and we're at like the big final scene, I believe. And what I've really enjoyed about the series was that it was so easy to read, so easy to get through, and it had a really clear path that it was following. And I especially enjoyed the first book, which was set in the prison, and there were a lot of surprises. I think I talked about this. Did I talk about this before? Doesn't matter. I really liked the first book. The second one was also good, not as good as the first one in my opinion, because we went back and forth a little bit, but still some really good plot twists in there. Maybe not plot twists, but more like surprising events and turns. And the third one as well has been really fast, really easy to get through, really easy to listen to, in terms of I don't have to concentrate to understand what's going on. I can just follow the storyline really easily. But what I have to say for the whole series, in the third audiobook there were trigger warnings, but I believe in the first two there weren't. And I was a bit shocked about the themes that were being covered in, I think it's a YA storyline. And there definitely are some themes that are being discussed which can be really triggering for people. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't like that there weren't any trigger warnings, because even if you're not triggered by the stuff that is being discussed, I thought that it was a bit... I just didn't expect these things to happen, and they were making me a bit sad, and like, it's just really harder hitting topics, and I don't know, sometimes you just have to be in the right mindset to read that, and I haven't been doing so well in the past few months, so that is not something that I gravitate towards right now, are topics that are putting even more stuff on my mind and more stuff to like think about and to dwell on and stuff. So just if you plan to pick up the series, know that there are some topics that might affect you while reading them. Which of course isn't necessarily a bad thing. I really like that there are topics in these books that aren't just shallow romance tropes. I like that we take books for younger audiences and put topics like that in there, but we definitely need to do it in a way where people can decide if it's right for them. Okay, enough about that. I also picked up a different series. It's a duology, and I picked it up when I went to a wellness retreat with my good friend Sarah, and she gave me this book because I, for some reason, just forgot to pack any books. I really wanted to. I had them picked out already, but I just forgot to pack them. And I went to her place before we went there. So she just was like, do you want to take any of my books? And I was like, which ones do you have? And she had the One Dark Window duology. Don't know if, again, that's the title of the duology, but it's the first book, One Dark Window. And then the second book is called Two Twisted Crowns. And I loved this book. I loved One Dark Window. I went through this so quickly. It just took me the one weekend to read. I read it on Friday. I started on Friday and then finished it early on Sunday. And yeah, I was just really intrigued by the whole concept of the book. I really liked the magic system in it. I liked the gothic fantasy vibes. If you have any regs for books that are like this, more in this darker, mysterious kind of fantasy, I really want to read more like this, and possibly even books that go even more into a gothic direction. Really great. I really think that there are many themes that you can take with you for our society as well, and like just a lot in there. And I'm currently in the middle of the second book. I have it here. I'm this far into it. I couldn't continue reading, unfortunately, because I had to prepare for moving and just life stuff. But I really enjoy this, and I'm so happy that I found this and that I just randomly picked it up. It has been on my list for a while, but I just never got to it, and that was the perfect opportunity. It was just the right book to get my mind off of things. At this wellness retreat, I was so relaxed. I put my phone away for the whole weekend, except for maybe answering some messages in the evenings, and I just realized that that was so good for my mental health, and just having the time, taking the time to read was really nice. And I'm so excited to continue this book after I've moved, so I'm not going to be reading this in this vlog. But again, if you like interesting magic systems, this one is based on cards. Like, they are basically like playing cards, but there's different cards that you can acquire, and they give you magical powers, but they are also evil. So it's not that you can just take this magic and it doesn't take something from you. You always have to give a part of yourself as well, and the cards will change you or affect you in some way, and I really enjoyed that. I really like that in books and in fantasy series when the magic isn't just positive, and you can really see that it has a cost or it affects the people who have magic. Yeah, just interesting. I like that. Apart from that, just a lot of personal stuff going on, and I'm just so grateful for the friends who are there for me at the moment and who really do everything for me. It makes me tear up because it's pretty emotional for me, because I haven't had like a really good friend group growing up, and I haven't had people around me who are as loyal to me as they are. And I'm a person who really doesn't like to ask for help a lot, and With them, I don't need to. They just offer it. And with the whole moving thing, that has been so important. Because I know a few years ago, I would have just done everything on my own. And I wouldn't have asked for help, and nobody would have offered as well. They would have helped if I had asked, probably. But I just didn't have that many people in my life. And now I do. And it feels really good that there's always someone I can call, and that I don't even need to, because they will. And that has been one topic. But there's been other stuff going on as well, and I'm not going to go into detail about it, but yeah, a lot of stress the last few months, but I'm really glad I'm moving. I didn't even tell you about that. I got a flat pretty quickly, and I had to decide pretty quickly, but I was so happy that I did it when I spent like the last weekend there, and I just feel like it's going to be a really great new chapter in my life now. Like, besides this one thing that is bothering me, everything in my life right now is really good. I'm doing great at work. Again, I have great friends. I have a flat that I'm really glad that I will move into. I'm going to go on some really great trips this year, and yeah, just I feel like my life is heading in a good direction, and I'm really glad that I can say that again. And I'm so excited to move into this new flat and to build all of my shelves again with all of my books, and have more room, more space to hang around in. The environment where I'm going to be living is going to be much nicer than where I live right now, and I have a separate space for my office and a separate bedroom, and just so many things are going to improve. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. And right now I need to start packing up all of these books, because there's so many and I don't have that much time left until I move. And yeah, maybe I will listen to an audiobook while doing that. And yeah, I will update you with my reading and stuff. So, see you later. Hi! So I just came home from work, which is why I'm dressed like that. Usually I don't dress as nicely when I'm just working from home, but this week is really stressful and we have a workshop, which is why I need to go to the office all the time. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick update, and I was just too lazy to put the camera on the tripod, which is why I'm talking like that. I hope you don't mind. It has been such a stressful day, and coming home to a flat that looks like this, and it's just full of boxes and nothing is in the right place. It's so stressful as well. And yeah, as you can guess, I didn't read anything because I've been at work all day. It's been exhausting, to be honest, but it was really fun. And again, I'm so glad that I'm doing so well at my job right now, because that is really rewarding and gives me a lot of confidence and energy, and yeah, all of the things, and also my friends being there. A friend of mine came back into my life who I didn't talk to for a long time, and I'm so grateful for him because he is there for me right now. And I'm going to call him and vent, and yeah, also venting to you. But but of course I'm going to go into more detail with him. But yeah, just a quick update how moving is going. I went to my new flat right after work because I had to bring some stuff over, and I also had to clean up the flat so that when my friends come, there isn't the stuff from all the painting still lying around. So that was important. I did that. And I also got a birthday present for one of my friends who is joining me for the move because she's decided to help me, and she had her birthday a few weeks ago and we didn't see each other since then. And so yeah, I still had to do that as well. But it worked out. Now I'm here. I can finally keep packing all of the stuff. I did get really far with all of the books, and it's so weird to see my bookshelf like that. But yeah, now I need food and I need to talk to my friends. So yeah, I will update you later. So I did manage to pack a lot more. I am almost done, but it still feels a lot. It feels like I did nothing at the same time. So I don't know. I'm a bit overwhelmed with it all, but it's fine. It will be fine. Still have 2 days left to pack, but it's still pretty overwhelming because I have to work a lot and I don't have that much time after I finish to do all of that. But for some reason I'm not even that stressed out about it, because I just know I can do it and it will be fine. And even if I don't manage to pack every single thing, I still have 2 weeks left of my lease for this flat, so I can still take some of the smaller stuff and just bring it with me another day and it will be okay. Still, of course, it would be better to just get it over with and get it done, but it is not the end of the world. So, still seems like I did nothing and kind of looks the same, but I did move a lot of things around. I did get out all of the stuff that was stored under my bed and everything. So yeah, it was a productive evening. And while I did that, I also finished listening to the third part of the Prison Healer series. The Blood Trader is the title, by the way. And I have to say I really enjoyed this series. Again, as I said before, there were some heavy topics discussed in these books. And I really did enjoy the ending and how everything came together in the end. I didn't think the magic system was the most interesting in here, but I did really like the side characters and the personal relationships that were being formed. I really like the found family aspects in this whole series. I did grow fond of some of the characters that I've thought were not as interesting in the beginning. Not the biggest fan of the love interest or the couple, maybe just because I'm so used to there being a twist to that in fantasy series, and it's not as twisty and the relationships aren't as complicated. I mean, it is complicated and there is some drama, but honestly it focuses way more on the other parts of the series, and in that case I just think that could have just been left out. Not really left out because it is really important for the plot, but I don't know, it just wasn't that interesting to me. But there were other things in the series that I found much more interesting, like the family aspects, for example. So I did enjoy that, and I also did enjoy, especially in the end, the way that it kind of had a positive outlook on things. And yeah, that was just really nice after seeing the character going through all of these hard things and going through so much trauma. So I did enjoy that, and again, really easy to listen to while doing stuff like packing all of these boxes. And it kept me entertained for a really long time, so that was nice. And it only was the 10th book that I finished this year, and to me that is such a low number in 2 months, because I just read that much last year. It still is a high number, of course, but just to me it seems like I'm doing so little and I'm doing so little reading in comparison to the last year. it's really weird. It feels weird. And it's what I set out to do in the beginning of the year. That's what I wanted. And that's what my goal was, to focus on other things, and I'm doing that. Trying out new hobbies and stuff. I've tried out some things and I'm really enjoying some of these things, but still feels so weird. And I'm really happy, or I'm really excited for when I'm in my new flat and I can unpack all of my books and put them back on the shelves and I can start reading again. And I can pick up all of the physical books, especially when I have more time again, because all of this moving stuff has taken up so many weekends and just the majority of my free time, because there's just so much planning to do. And I'm going to explain to you probably later on in the vlog what it is, because I can't go into detail right now because that would just be too much, because I really need to go to bed because it is past midnight and I need to work early tomorrow. So I really have to go to bed, but I still wanted to tell you that I finished a book and that I managed to do some more packing. And after this stressful day, I feel like I have calmed down and like self-regulated, which is really good because again, it's a really stressful time for me and I am really happy about how I am dealing with all of the stuff, and I feel like I'm doing so much better because I am setting more boundaries for myself, I'm taking care of myself, trying to implement some things like not reacting to stuff immediately and just taking some time, talking to friends, finding other ways to let out my emotions, stuff like that. Just also really focusing on the stuff that is important right now, which is getting this move done. And what still would be great, which I'm not really doing right now, but I really want to get better, is getting enough sleep, because it's just so important. And I'm better, but I'm not where I want to be. At least this week I've managed to spend less time on my phone, which is good, and which I also think helps with regulating your emotions and regulating your sleep and being better at sleeping well. But still, the sleep, I managed to do it for like 2 nights maybe, and then I mess up again. So that's okay. I don't have to do everything at once. Slow progress is still progress. And I feel like I'm making progress. And that's why I need to go to bed right now. I will update you whenever, because I can tell you the next days are going to be hectic. But it will be fine. So, see you then. Oh, I'm so tired, oh my god. It is pretty late Friday evening. It was a really long work day. I had to work late today as well because we had to finish this workshop, and we actually got customer feedback and it was really, really good. And that was so nice, and I got really positive feedback for my work again as well. My colleague who I worked with the most during that workshop actually came up to me again and said how much she enjoyed it, how much she enjoyed working with me. I also really enjoyed working with her. That was a really nice, positive experience. And yeah, just the person who was leading the workshop also thanked me again, and it was just really good. But also really tiring and a lot of work, but that's fine. It's all done now. I have to worry about that again on Monday when I have to do like some other stuff related to that. But now I need to focus on the move. I am really overwhelmed, to be honest. I went to the grocery store after work and had some dinner, but I just sat here for a while and procrastinated because I got emotional and because I just didn't know what to do with myself. It's a really weird feeling to leave this flat. I don't know what it is about moving that just makes you feel so weird. And for me at least, always really melancholy about the time that you spent in a flat, and then also excited for starting something new. I feel like I still have a lot of stuff to do, but actually I don't really know what to do exactly, because it's all just these really small little pieces that I still have to do, like some random hair ties that are lying around, stuff like that. So I don't think it actually is that much, it just is overwhelming at the moment because I had so much to do the last few days. But my friend is coming in around 20 minutes or so. I think she will arrive here. And it's almost midnight when she arrives, so it's so late and it's going to be so exhausting. I don't know what to think and what to do with myself, but I started reading a new book. I started listening to Quicksilver, which, don't know why, I just randomly went on my audiobook app and picked one of the last books that I saved to my library, and I just started with it. So that's what we did. I have no clue about the story. I have heard about this, and I think I read the synopsis, and I think I also heard some reviews, but I honestly don't remember what they were because I saved a lot of the kind of similar type of book, at least from like the cover and how it sounds. So I don't really know in which direction it's going to go, but it's fine so far. I enjoy it actually. I enjoy the trope of our heroine being in this kind of dystopian world and then discovering, or not discovering, she knows that she has powers, but she has to hide them, and she really doesn't want to acknowledge that she has these powers, and that is very interesting, I think, that she is basically trying to not have them. And I also like the whole setup with her not being one of those really innocent poor girls who have to like, who just don't have any experience or who don't stand up for themselves. I really like her character so far, and I think it's a nice change from a few of the books that I've read recently. But yeah, I'm pretty much still at the beginning. We had an encounter with her brother who she really tries to take care of, but he is a really rebellious type of guy who doesn't really listen to her and who gets in a lot of trouble, and yeah, just not the easiest person to take care of, I would say. And they have a typical sibling relationship, I would say as well. And then we met one of her former lovers and a guy that she actually can't stand. So they have this enemies to lovers type of thing going on, but I don't think that he is the love interest in this book from what I've gathered. But I honestly don't know anything about that yet. And we got her stealing something, and that is in the very beginning of the book. That is kind of the main plot point so far, that she stole something very valuable and she is being arrested for it now, and she's being taken to the queen of the country, and that is very interesting. I like that scene, and just the whole world building and the way the characters are set up and introduced really intrigues me so far. So I'm excited for this book, because I basically went into it with no expectations, because I just was like, I need another book to start now because I don't have time to think about it. But what I am realizing right now is that I probably need to take a break from this type of romantasy after reading this book, because I feel like I'm starting to see the patterns, and I'm starting to really... I'm not getting bored of it, but it isn't hitting as hard anymore. Especially about like discovering that you have powers and just these typical tropes that you just have in fantasy. And this book obviously is different, as I said, and it has some changes that I really like, but still I don't want to burn myself out from reading the same type of book, because that is what happened to me with thrillers. I really enjoyed reading them for a good amount of my teenage years, and then I just read so many of them that I didn't enjoy it anymore because I could see every single thing coming and it just got so boring to me. And I don't want the same thing to happen to me with fantasy. And maybe I just need to read a different type of fantasy book. But yeah, I guess it's kind of part of this bigger discussion of nowadays books and plots and tropes being so formulaic, and like because something has worked once, we put it in a lot of books. And of course that has happened before as well. You just have certain tropes and certain genres, and that's how these stories are set up. And that was also what I really enjoyed about romance books, for example, for a really long time, that it was just this safe thing that I could always go back to and I would know what happens, and that I have this happy ending and stuff. But that only works to a certain degree, and after that it just, if you can tell that stories might have been altered or just have been written to be commercially successful, that's a whole other thing. But I can't go more into depth about that right now because I really need to do the packing. But oh my god, why did I start with that topic now? But yeah, just I enjoy reading this book right now. After that, I don't know what I will read. Anyways, I'm going to continue packing now, and then tomorrow is moving day. Oh my god, I just feel, it feels really surreal to leave this flat and to know that I'm not going to be living here anymore. It doesn't feel like that because this whole week has been so hectic, and now I'm just leaving. It's so weird that I have to say goodbye to this now, and yeah, definitely are going to be some emotional days for me. But I still have this flat for a while longer, so it isn't like the final goodbye, but still a very strange feeling. Even though I'm excited to move to my new flat, it just is always really strange to leave one part of your life behind and start over again. But anyways, I don't even have time to think about that right now. I just need to get going. Hello, I'm back finally, and this audio quality is probably a bit worse because I don't know where I put my microphone, but I moved and it has been really great. It has been a while already, but just life happened and it got in the way, and that's why I'm only updating you now. But apart from a few hiccups, everything has gone really great. And you can hear church bells in my new flat, so that's what you're probably hearing right now. Yeah, I moved. My friends helped me a lot. I am so grateful because it was really not easy. But we managed, and then I didn't have any internet for a week or so, which wasn't fun. But everything is sorted out now, and yeah, I am so much happier in this flat and in the place where I'm at right now in life. So everything has really turned out great, and I'm really glad I did it. And I chose to move because I have really thought about it for a long time, if I should do it or shouldn't do it. I was really torn, and now I'm really happy I decided the way I decided. I feel so much happier here. I feel really good in this flat, and yeah, just all of the new opportunities in my life and where everything is heading right now. I still didn't finish Two Twisted Crowns, but I kept reading it and I'm still really enjoying this book. It is really good. I really like this duology, and if this author has more books out, I'm probably going to check them out because I really enjoy the writing style a lot. And the other book that I was reading in this vlog was Quicksilver, and I did finish that one. That was an interesting book. Well, I don't even know where to start with that. There were so many parts about this that I did enjoy. I think I already said that I really liked the way that the Fae were portrayed in comparison to the humans, that you could really tell that they were different and they were thinking different, because in a lot of books, Fae are just like humans, but hotter. And I really enjoyed that. And I like the whole enemies to lovers dynamic in this one as well. And yeah, what else is there to say? there definitely was a lot of spice. I don't know if I expected that. It was not bad, but also not really necessary for me. I think for me personally, in the end, the book was trying to do a little bit too much. I really liked the characters in the book, but I didn't like... That's not what I'm trying to say. I did like the plot, but it just didn't blow me away. I feel like the characters with a different plot would have been a 5-star read for me, probably. But this plot just felt all over the place at times. I liked the whole part until she got into his world and until they started to have all of these battle scenes in there. I also did enjoy the reason why she had to stay, that she made this deal with him and she had to keep her word and stay and do all of these things. But then the whole other storyline with the vampires, I did not enjoy that at all. I thought that was really boring and not very new or fresh, and I really could have seen this go in a different direction and be really interesting. So I was a bit disappointed with that, because in my mind, I think vampires and Fae just don't go together that well. And I say that as a person who really loves Crescent City, but just in a high fantasy scenario, vampires are just ultimately urban fantasy for me. So that's kind of, I think, what I did like about it. But then when we came to the end, I really did enjoy the ending, and that's what kind of makes me want to pick up the second book now. Even though I think I rated it 3 stars. I'm just really unsure about this whole book and this whole series, so I might as well give it a try. Yeah, as I said, I really enjoyed the characters, and let me know if you have read the series, if the other books get more interesting plot-wise, or at least from my description, you would think that I would enjoy them. This is what I've been reading. Not a lot, honestly, but that's totally fine because there have been so many other things. And yeah, just didn't manage to vlog a lot of this whole moving process, but I think I can still show you a few things in my flat later on when I have set them up and everything. You're stacked on boxes right now because I also lost my tripod, so I didn't lose it. It's somewhere, I just don't know where. So yeah, I think I'm going to show you a bit more about my bookshelves and how I am going to set them up. They're not finished yet. So stuff like that is probably going to come in the future. Other than that, I don't really have much to update you on right now because yeah, everything is still a bit chaotic, and that's totally fine. I don't have a kitchen. I do have internet right now, which I'm really grateful for, and that doesn't really matter. I'm still happy here, and I know that everything will work out. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!